This podcast is an Oblivious Co production. Welcome to Film Obsessed, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything film related, including reviews, thoughts, news, behind the scenes secrets, and more. Hey guys, welcome to Film Obsessed. So, this is a new podcast that I have been waiting to do for a long time. Anybody who's been following knows this has been a project I have been working on behind the scenes. I'm just really looking forward to doing this. So, this is actually like my fourth time trying to record this podcast, because the first time I tried to do it with my buddy and it just did not work. It fell flat on its face and I felt really sad about it because it felt too forced. It wasn't exactly what I was wanting to go for. I tried to do a video version of it and I just didn't like it. So I decided, you know what, I'm not doing that. So then I decided, okay, well, if that's not going to work, let's try an audio only version of it. So I got my buddy Braden, who has been wanting to join us over on the Gnag podcast. If you haven't listened to that, I highly recommend it. It's our other podcast, our video podcast on YouTube. Basically, it didn't work out with him, or it did. It worked really well with him, but my computer decided to corrupt the file. And if you've watched Gnag, you know the battles I've been facing with that. But we're working on it. Finally, I was trying to record it tonight, right before this version of the thing, and it just too much background noise. Anyways, welcome to Film Obsessed, guys. I'm really excited for this passion. This is a passion project of mine, along with Gnag. Film Obsessed to me is my outlet for talking about movies. Anybody who knows me knows that I love movies more than anything. It's my go-to hobby. I watch any movie I can get my hands on. I consider myself somewhat of a critic. I just love film. And I love the cinematography, the sound, the special effects, the acting, all of it. It's just beautiful to me. It's art. And I'm a huge fan of the arts. So basically, I wanted to do a podcast where I can talk about it. Originally, it was started out as a review channel, and that's not exactly what I was going for. So I decided, you know what, let's not do that because I want to talk about more. Well, on Gnag, we ended up talking about movies and behind the scenes stuff, and then I was like, I want to do more of that. I really enjoyed those. So then I was like, okay, I'll make a podcast where I can do that. And I, debated a bunch of names and nothing really worked. Well, eventually I somehow landed on Film Obsessed, and I'm really happy I did because nobody's using it, and it is like my favorite name for a podcast right now. I think it's awesome. So, yeah. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are ready to listen. This series should come out once to twice a week if I can keep up with that schedule. It might just be once a week. Could even move bi-weekly, but I can definitely do at least one a week. Unless things get super busy, in which case you gotta understand. But at least being audio only in the way that it is, I can record these in bulk, especially if I have to do it by myself. Now, I will have guests. In a future episode, my buddy Braden's going to come back and we're going to re-record another episode. And, well, you know how that all goes. So then we'll probably get my buddy Mark back on here as well. And it won't feel as forced this time, luckily. And you know what? We'll probably get maybe Caden on here an episode. We'll get a bunch of my different friends. Some of my coworkers, for those who don't know, over the summer that, as of the time of this filming, I work in a movie theater, and a lot of my coworkers are huge movie buffs like me. A couple of them I'll probably get to join me on here. I know a few of them have already, waiting for this episode to come out, so you know who you are. I know you're waiting. Welcome. So in that first episode I tried to record with Mark, we kind of talked about, what our favorite movies were, and I figured that'd be a really good starting topic. And then in future episodes, we might make it topic-based, where we'll talk specific. Well, they'll probably all be somewhat topic-based, where you've got, one's talking about behind-the-scenes movie news. Another one could be talking about how, for example, another episode that Mark and I had planned to do at some point is we're going to be talking about older Marvel movies, like before the MCU, like the original Spider-Mans, the Blade movies, Daredevil, pretty much any of those are up for grabs. Punisher, Ghost Rider. There's a lot to choose from, and we're just gonna talk about them and see how they hold up. Even Amazing Spider-Man, even though that's the most recent non-Marvel-ish movie. We're not counting like Venom and stuff like that. Okay, but I'm getting too off topic. Anyways, I wanted to talk about my favorite movies. I wanted to, kind of introduce you to me. If you haven't listened before, if you haven't listened to Gnag or been to our Oblivious Co YouTube channel, I kind of wanted to give you an introduction to me if this is your first time hearing my voice. So, my name's Dakota. Like I said, huge movie buff and everything. I can talk for hours about movies, but I decided I wanted to keep this podcast short, no more than 30 minutes. So, some could even be as short as like a little 5-minute rant, but who knows. Today, I just want to talk about my favorite movies and why I like them, and tell you a little bit about them. And I might talk a little bit more. We'll see. So, my top three, and some are controversial, some are not, some everybody loves, some people don't know about. So, starting at number 3 and working our way up to number 1. Number 3 is a movie called Gifted. It is a Chris Evans movie starring McKenna Grace and Octavia Spencer. The acting behind this movie is phenomenal. That's one of the best things that this movie does, is it has all around great acting. From, Chris Evans and Octavia Spencer, both veteran actors, to the little kid who I think was 10 at the time of filming the movie. She was 10 years old, and she played her role to perfection. You couldn't have asked her to do any better. Basically, the plot of the movie is Chris Evans plays the uncle of McKenna Grace's character. She is a 7-year-old who is a math prodigy, like her mother, who passed away. He is taking care of her, but the moment that his mother, her grandmother, finds out about her, she wants to take her and get the custody and basically not torture her, but she wants her to only focus on math and basically give her the life that her mother had, which was not a good one. And it becomes like a whole legal battle, like a lot of heartbreak, a lot of I've shed so many tears to this movie, but it is so beautiful, and it really makes the ones you love stand out more, at least in my opinion. And I highly recommend it. Look up Gifted. It came out in 2017 by Mark Webb, or directed by Mark Webb. Then we got, if you know the name, you know this name, you know this soundtrack, you know the acting behind it. It's The Greatest Showman. If you have not seen The Greatest Showman, I don't care if you don't like musicals. My dad hates musicals, and it is one of his favorite movies and easily his favorite soundtrack. Go watch it. Go listen to the soundtrack. You will, go do yourself a favor. You will not regret it. And if you don't like it, I don't care about your opinion anymore. I'm just kidding. I might. Or I might not. We'll see. But basically, like I said, if you've seen it, you already know. The soundtrack is so beautiful. It's so amazing. It gets me hyped up every time I hear it, or very emotional, depending on the song. And I just love everything about it. It's just so good. I don't know what to say. Everything about that movie, the acting, I mean, yeah, the visuals could have been a little better, like the special effects, but, I'll let that slide compared to everything else of this movie. It just, I saw this movie 8 times while it was in theaters. I actually think I saw it 10 times, but I only remember 8. And well, needless to say, every time I left the theater, I had some friends who worked at that theater, and they said that when I left that theater, I had the hugest or the biggest smile on my face. I literally was grinning ear to ear, and I wouldn't stop. And I would be belting the soundtrack when it came out. When it came out on record, I would put it on and just belt it because it was amazing. I was just doing that with Rewrite the Stars the other day because it was just so beautiful to me. Love it. Love Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, all of them. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. And finally, for my number 1 pick, this one is a movie that is severely underrated in my opinion, and not many people know about it. Most people have never even heard of it or know who owns it. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you, it is a Disney property. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I know all of it. And I'm sad to say that you won't. You won't know what this is. It is, it's called Tron. Yeah, I know you don't know what it is. because most people don't. And I'm not it's and I'm more so meaning Tron Legacy, but I also do mean the original 19. I put them together. So the first Tron came out in 1982. It is a sci-fi movie where a genius computer guy basically goes into a digital world. Yeah, and that guy is Jeff Bridges. Great movie. It was the first ever movie to use 3D special it was the first ever movie to use 3D graphics ever, which you think it would get it more recognition, but it doesn't. It's become a cult classic. But you don't see ever like if you watched it now, you're like those are the worst special effects. I was like, yeah, cuz they were the first ones at their time. They were revolutionary. And you know, that's just how it is. And then you've got Tron Legacy, which I love. I've loved it since I saw it. It has been my favorite movie ever since. Although The Greatest Showman tries to push it out, so it is great. Or gifted. But basically, the visuals, even for 2010, hold up great to today's standards. The visuals are amazing. Like, I want to go live in that world that they have created. And then Daft Punk did the soundtrack. I don't think I even need to say anymore, but I will. Before Daft Punk left, before they retired, they actually re-released the Tron soundtrack with more songs on it. Of course I went and listened to it. It's just such a great soundtrack. Like Derezzed, that was my ringtone for so long. Then I started to get tired of it, and I didn't want to get tired of that great song, so I just immediately stopped using it as a ringtone. You can go watch it on Disney Plus. It's a great movie. Its plot feels a little basic, but you really are watching it for the visuals and the soundtrack. Like it's such an immersive world. Disney has actually made a the Shanghai, I think it's Shanghai version of Disneyland or whatever, or Disney World, whatever it is over there. They have a Tron roller coaster, and it's their like fastest and most popular ride over there. Well, they're finally making one in the Disney World in Florida. It was supposed to be done by the beginning of 2021, but obviously we all know COVID-19 and everything. Well, now they're still working on it. The moment it comes out, I'm going to go ride it like 20 times. I'm going to buy every piece of merchandise in the store. I get my hands on any Tron merchandise that I can. Lego made like a Tron Legacy like light bike set. I bought it immediately. There was a Tron pop socket in Dorbs. Bought both of them. I have like an old collector's version of the movie. Got it. An old light disc. Got it. I just love the franchise. I really hope. I know Disney's canceled Tron 3. I hope we'll still get one, even if I'm 40 when it came out, because if they follow the 30-year pattern they're going with, I will be 40 something by the time the next one comes out, or close to it at least. But you know what? Or was it 30? No, it'd be 40. But you know what? If it means I get another Tron that's really good, I will take it. I will take it. I mean, we had to wait years for Star Wars to resurface with the sequel trilogy, or the prequel trilogy, which, say what you want about it. I enjoy it for the most part. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite. Don't roast me in the comments for that. But, then you could also say, oh, well, the sequel trilogy, which, yeah, we don't talk about that. At least not when Caden and Camden aren't here to argue it with me about it. But yeah, guys, those are like my top 3. I kind of wanted to, I kind of want your opinions. Like, what do you think of my favorite movies? Have you seen my favorite movies? Let me know. You can hit us up on our Instagram. It's called _Oblivious Co. Or _Oblivious_Co. Same thing for our TikTok. You can message us there. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. We also have a merch store now, which I will put, well, if you read the description, like whether you're on Spotify, Apple, or Anchor or wherever, you'll find the description. But I'll leave that in there, or like our Linktree bio. So you can go find it. I'm really excited about this series. I know this one's a short one. It's only like around 15 or so minutes, but I really wanted to kind of just, tell a little bit about myself, give you guys a little sneak peek of what's to expect. And don't worry, there will be like 2 episodes a week. The upload schedule, I think, at the moment, and obviously this is subject to change, but at the moment, our upload schedule is on Thursday and Sunday. However, this one is going in place of Gnag on a Tuesday. So there will be this Tuesday and then this Thursday. Then you'll find another one on Sunday, and then it will follow the Sunday-Thursday pattern. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Film Obsessed. Goodbye.